This is my review of the Beach Boys album, The Beach Boys Live 50th Anniversary Tour. It was released in 2013, produced by Brian Wilson and Joe Thomas. So this album, I just got this recently when I was getting all this stuff or all the albums I didn't have to do all these reviews. This album, I don't know, I kind of just didn't really have any desire to get it for a long time because I had this, no, actually, I don't think that's true. I don't think I knew this existed for a while. I think that's what it was. I don't know. I can't remember why I didn't get this album really, but I didn't have this album for a long time. And I do think though that I did know it existed. I think I saw it somewhere. But I had this, the Blu-ray of the concert, but this only has like 21 songs on it. This has 2 discs. One has 21 songs, the other has 20. So this has a lot more like stuff on it than what you got with this. I did actually see them on this tour though. I saw them in, I can't remember when it was exactly, but it was in Cincinnati, Ohio. And it was a really great, great experience seeing them at this point. I mean, the problem with the album is kind of just that, they're older, that, they sound older. They've got kind of, as I remember my friend put it at the concert, they have an army of backing musicians. So they just had but it sounded really good. They had a really good band, I think, playing. They had David Marks back for this lineup. So this lineup basically was Brian, Mike, Al, Bruce Johnston, and David Marks. So all the living members minus, I guess, Blondie and Ricky from that era. And it was cool. I just mentioned David Marks because he played a lot of the leads on the old songs and stuff. And I thought that he actually played really well on this. That was cool to hear because he was like the most prominent of the Beach Boys instrumentalists, I feel like, during the concert. Not really sure how much you were hearing of like Al's guitar really, or Brian did his piano. I'm kind of rambling, seriously, but yeah, this CD though, it's cool that it's got all these songs on it. It's got a lot of stuff. I mean, it's got stuff on it that I didn't hear when I saw them. One actually, Get You Back, which they have David Marks sing on here, which is cool because he doesn't. I think this is the only time that he gets to sing, at least lead. And yeah, he did. They didn't play that when I saw them. So there's stuff on here that I didn't see. I'm not gonna go through all the tracks and say what I think about them because there's so many, and because I've talked about all these songs before, and the only thing to really say about them all on the album is that they're like all well performed, professionally performed and stuff like that. But it's just it's their older voices. They're getting some help. It's not the first place I would go to hear any of these songs really. I think it's more interesting from a historic standpoint and in some ways. But anyway, I'll list off the songs they have. So on the first disc there's Do It Again, Little Honda, Catch a Wave, Hawaii, Don't Back Down, Surfing Safari, Surfer Girl, Little Girl I Once Knew, Wendy, Get You Back, and Then I Kissed Her, Marcella, Isn't It Time, Why Do Fools Fall in Love, When I Grew Up to Be a Man, Disney Girls, Be True to Your School, Little Deuce Coupe, 409, Shut Down, and I Get Around. So I remember from when I saw them, at least, they did all the car songs like that, because they split the concert into 2 halves. And I can't remember if it was anywhere near as long as this. It was pretty long though. They played a lot of stuff. I remember being really happy with the set list in general and liking everything they played. But I remember the second half of the show they ended with all the car songs, kind of like they did on this album. and it was kind of cool during the concert because it was like a storm was kind of coming in as they were playing that second half of the concert before going to the intermission, and I was a little bit worried that like it was going to rain and we were going to have to go to the car and stuff, but it didn't end up raining. It just kind of like the wind kind of picked up a little bit and it got darker, but it had a really kind of cool effect while they were playing these kind of like faster car songs. I remember. And the second disc has Pet Sounds, Add Some Music to Your Day, Heroes and Villains, Sail on Sailor, California Saga, California, In My Room, All This Is That, That's Why God Made the Radio, Forever, God Only Knows, Sloop John B, Wouldn't It Be Nice, Good Vibrations, California Girls, Help Me Rhonda, Rock and Roll Music, Surfing USA, Kokomo, Barbara Ann, and Fun Fun Fun. So I guess the only thing to mention, or that I want to mention here about these songs is for the Forever and God Only Knows, they sing actually to they sing to like pre-recorded Dennis and Carl vocals from I think they're the Carl footage that they use. I don't know if it's the same vocal, but the footage they used when I saw them was from the Nebworth, I think it is how you say it, show, and which I also reviewed that earlier. And the Dennis footage is from another show, but I guess there were like live vocals of theirs that they just kind of isolated from those performances, and then the band like played and sang to them. And I thought that was cool. That was a cool tribute to Dennis and Carl, I thought, and kind of just like I don't know. I thought it was really cool during the concert when they did that. But I don't know, the effect of it's not quite the same just listening to it. In concert, it was really cool though. Other than that, not much else to say. It was I remember just another thing about seeing a few other things about seeing them on this tour, I guess, was when I remember my friend commenting that you could kind of tell the newer songs just because it seemed to suit their like current voices a little bit more than the older ones, but because they played a few songs off That's Why God Made the Radio. I think pretty much the same ones that are on here. Well, obviously the same ones are on here, but I think they played all of those. I remember being really excited to hear Marcella and the California part of the California Saga. I thought that was really cool because I didn't really know what they were going to be playing. I'd seen kind of some like videos of a few different songs and stuff like that. I knew they did the Get You Back thing with David Marks, so I was kind of disappointed that they didn't do that one because I knew that that's something that they did on the tour. They did Disney Girls, which I liked because I like that song, so it was cool to hear Bruce sing that. I saw about all I can remember. I remember we were kind of debating whether or not to leave, like after they finished, like whether there was going to be an encore or not. And we're like, is there any like glaring? And my friend's like, is there any glaring omissions? And I thought about it for a second, and I was like, oh yeah, fun. It's like, okay, yeah, they're probably coming back. Let's see what else. I don't know. I remember it was really cool to go get to see them because I kind of remember at the time, like I had just really kind of gotten into them a few years earlier, but I was already just a huge fan of all their albums and everything. And it was kind of one of those bands that like I never thought I would get the chance to see live, especially not with the members, because I honestly I have no interest in seeing the band as it is now with Mike Love and Bruce Johnston. I don't really like that. To me, just isn't really the Beach Boys without one of the Wilsons, and Brian's the only when we have, unfortunately. But to me, it's without Brian Wilson, it's just not really the Beach Boys. So, the fact that Brian was there and that they got everybody, and including Dave, I just thought was really cool. And I don't know, it was really cool to go and experience that and see them play all the songs and stuff. I remember really specifically like Brian before the it was right before the intermission, like as they were finishing the song, like he didn't even like wait for the song to finish. He just like stood up and like walked as fast as he could to the side of the stage, and I was just like, wow, that's just seemed like Brian from everything I've read about him, which it was like it was cool, just like, I don't know, watching it and noticing little things like that. But yeah, just this album though, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's not as cool having been there and seeing the tour, and then also I guess like having the Blu-ray to watch and stuff. It's kind of not the same, or not as cool to just listen to it, especially since it's just like, I mean, it does sound good. It sounds like nice and professional, like I've said, but it's still their older voices, so it's not the best sounding Beach Boys album you're gonna get as far as live albums go. Even though it does have a ton of songs on it, that's the one big advantage to this. It has a ton of songs, but not my favorite Beach Boys live album.